Have you ever witnessed a moment when a superpower begins to crumble before the world's eyes? What once looked like an untouchable empire is now trembling from within. Russia, long boasting about its financial strength and energy dominance, is staring into a nightmare that even its strongest supporters never imagined. And for the first time, Vladimir Putin himself has been forced to admit what he once denied: the Russian economy is slowing down. But this isn't just a slowdown. This is a system unraveling piece by piece, and what's left is the image of a regime on the brink of total collapse. Stay with me till the end, because the full picture is far more shocking than you think. Let's start with the beating heart of Russia's power: oil. For decades, oil has been Moscow's shield and sword. It filled the nation's treasury, fueled its military, and kept Putin's grip on power unshaken. But today, that shield is cracking. Ukrainian drones have turned Russia's pipelines, storage depots, and refineries into firestorms. Critical sites are in ruins, forcing Russia into a bizarre crisis. They can still pump oil, but they cannot refine it, cannot store it, and cannot ship it out safely. And here's the nightmare detail: oil wells are not like light switches. If output is reduced too much, many wells never recover. Restarting them later can cost billions or become impossible altogether. Even Russia's own pipeline monopoly has warned producers output cuts are no longer optional, they're inevitable. For a nation built on fossil fuels, this is nothing short of disaster. Then came a moment that stunned the world. Cameras rolled as Vladimir Putin sat before his economic team. Gone was the swagger, the rehearsed strength. Instead, he admitted openly that the slowdown in Russia's economy was severe, almost catastrophic. His ministers, usually staged as loyal faces of confidence, sat grim and silent, their eyes fixed on papers they could barely read. Even Elvira Nabiulina, the head of Russia's central bank, could not hide her unease. This was not the image of a leader in control. This was the image of a regime cracking under the weight of reality. The numbers tell the same story. Russia's central bank has whiplashed interest rates 21%, 20%, 18%, now down again to 17%. Officially, inflation is listed at 8%, but independent economists show it's far worse, closer to 12%. For ordinary Russians, this means food is more expensive, wages are shrinking, and survival is getting harder every single day. But here lies the most terrifying sign of collapse. People no longer trust their banks. Despite high interest rates promising big returns, Russians are pulling their money out of banks by the billions. Why? Because trust is gone. Depositors fear for their savings, fear inflation will eat away what little they have left, and fear the government can no longer protect. This slow-motion bank run is what every government dreads. Once trust is lost, no amount of promises or high rates can bring it back. And when the people abandon their banks, the financial system begins to suffocate. But it isn't just the people turning against the system. Even Russia's oligarchs, the billionaires who hold most of the nation's wealth, have reached their breaking point. A leaked letter revealed their desperation. They begged Putin to end the war. Not out of morality, not out of compassion, but out of money. Their industries are collapsing. Coal revenues have fallen by half. Iron is nearly bankrupt. Aviation, rail, and automotive sectors are losing up to 50%. These men are not rebels. They are the backbone of the Kremlin. And when even they beg for an end, it signals something extraordinary. The circle of loyalty around Putin is beginning to fracture. Russia's problems go deeper still. Even its weapons industry, once a proud symbol of military might, has been exposed as fragile. Ukrainian investigators found that Russian drones depend on foreign parts, American chips, German circuits, Japanese sensors, even Chinese engines. Without smuggled Western technology, Russia cannot build drones at scale. Imagine the irony: a nation claiming independence from the West is fighting with weapons powered by Western parts. Each downed drone tells the same story. Russia's war machine is built on borrowed time. Meanwhile, the United States and NATO have taken full advantage. A new aid package has been approved for Ukraine, one structured to benefit both America and its allies. NATO pays, Ukraine receives the weapons, and America's defense industry reaps the profits. For Russia, it's a triple blow. Ukraine grows stronger, NATO grows richer, and Moscow falls further behind. If that humiliation wasn't enough, Putin himself faced one of the most surreal moments of his career. At the Zapad military drills with Belarusian forces, foreign observers from the United States stood by watching. Bound by international law, Putin had no choice but to welcome them. Cameras captured him, thanking American officers for attending. The same man who threatens nuclear strikes against the West was forced to smile and bow to international treaties. For a leader who thrives on propaganda, it was a moment of bitter irony. But Russia's shortages don't stop there. Even its prized S-400 air defense systems are running out. Once exported proudly to countries like Turkey, Moscow is now so desperate it has asked Ankara to sell them back. Think about the humiliation of a superpower begging a NATO member to return weapons it once bragged about selling. For Turkey, it's an opportunity. For Russia, it's an open confession. They cannot produce replacements, and their skies are vulnerable. Then came Poland's stunning move. In response to Russian threats, Warsaw shut its border with Belarus not just for military supplies but for all trade. This matters because 95% of Chinese exports into Europe pass through that route. Overnight, a $30 billion artery was cut. China itself sent delegates to plead with Poland, but Warsaw stood firm. The cost at home was high, yet Poland chose security over profit. China lost billions. Russia became even more isolated, and Europe sent a powerful message. Resistance will not be broken. And so, picture emerges of Russia today. Oil fields burning, banks bleeding, oligarchs begging, weapons dependent on smuggled parts, air defenses running out, orders sealed, and a president admitting collapse on camera. This is no longer the tale of a confident superpower. This is a regime trapped in its own web of weakness, fighting battles it cannot win. The truth is clear. The Russian economy is not just slowing, it is unraveling, and the walls are closing in on Vladimir Putin faster than ever before. So now I ask you, how long can this system survive? Is collapse weeks away, months, or has it already begun in slow motion before our very eyes? Tell me what you think in the comments, and don't forget to like this video, share it with your friends, and subscribe for more powerful insights. Because what happens next in Russia may change the world forever.